Hey guys, welcome back. Today is release day over at Kellie Stamps, and I just wanted to play in my traveler's notebook for a little bit with this brand new stamp set called Stacks On. Now, if you've ever kind of like thought, I love the look of repeat stamping, but I'm just not sure I've got the right stamps to do it, or anything along those lines, this is the perfect stamp set for you. All of these stamps line up really nicely. They stack really nicely, hence stacks on, and they work really, really well if you want to create a repeat stamped pattern. And that's what I'm going to do today. I only just got these stamp sets, and I just wanted to have a quick play, so my traveler's notebook is the perfect place to do that. I've got a couple of photos of Lil from her recent haircut I had to give her. Just the amount of hair that comes off that dog, it's incredible. It's like a whole another dog on the floor. And so I've got two photos and I've trimmed them out. I've made sure to trim them out so that they are exactly the same size, border and all. They are slightly smaller than a 3x4, and you'll see why. It's because I just want to create a little flip up with Lil and then the leftover of Lil underneath that. Now, the collection I'm using today is from Rosie Studios. It's the This Is Us collection, brand new. Thank you to Alice for sending me these lovely goodies. I've just picked out this really pretty kind of yellowy and blue and white, sort of, it's quite a neutral kind of floral, but I was really drawn to it, and I love it so much. What I do need though is a coordinating paper to go with it. I decided to pick out the very small amount of blue in that floral, and I'm going to pick out this really pretty blue to go with it. And then what I want to do is just trim down a strip of paper that is exactly the same width as my photo. So I'm not actually I'm not matting this photo in any way. I am just going to use the pattern on the inside, and I'm going to create my flip up with the pattern paper. So the pattern papers from Rosie Studios are single-sided, which means that I'm not wasting any pattern on the back here by sticking this down. I have just grabbed out my little bone folder and folding guide here so that I can get a nice straight line, and I have folded it again so it is exactly the same size as my photo. Like I said, you're not going to see any of this pattern paper from the outside, but when you flip it up, it will add a nice little pop of color. So the first thing I'm doing is sticking down my first photo on the inside, on the bottom of that flap, and I'm going to add my other photo to the top of it. Now, of course, you could do this exact same thing, but with like hidden journaling. I've documented these sorts of photos of Lil plenty of times before. I didn't feel the need to add a whole lot of journaling, well, really any journaling at all. You don't see it. I added a little bit of journaling onto the top inside of that flap when I was done filming. But you could fill the whole thing with journaling. You can add a very small photo in there and a whole lot of journaling. Lots of sort of options in there. But those fold ups are definitely a fun way for hiding little goodies when you're going through your notebook. Now, before I get busy like gluing all of those papers down, what I am going to do is start my stamp stacking. Now, I have gone and picked out a ink color. This is Catherine Pooler's Stone Blue. It's very, very close to the blue that I'm using on that inside flap paper. And this is the ease of this stamp set. All of these stamps, they just stack really nicely. I've just stamped 3 on top of each other. I was going to go for 4, but I kind of like 3 better as a number. And so that's what I'm going to do. Now, like I said, this is the first time I've used this stamp set. I did give it a little tester and decided that I did need to prime the stamp. So I've just grabbed my sand eraser to do that. You can use a regular eraser. If you've got some Versamark ink, that can work nicely too. It's really just anything to give that surface of those brand new stamps just a little bit of something for the ink to stick onto. My sand eraser, as you can see, it does a very nice job. That's my tool of choice. And then I'm just going to start stamping. Now, what I'm going to share with you today is that I wasn't super happy with the results. I'll be perfectly honest. And sometimes I think it pays to play around when you're doing this kind of repeat pattern stamping. There are a lot of ways to do it. Some ways work better than others, depending on the stamps that you're using. And today I started off by stacking my stamps vertically up the page. Now, as I got going, I was less and less happy with it. I didn't love the very, I guess, kind of obvious divisions from the columns of the stamping. So the stamps going up the page look fine, but across the page, there's quite definitive kind of white lines in between that stamping. And I wasn't super duper happy about it. So one of the things to do that I usually would do and just sort of skipped over today, learn by what I say, not by what I do, is just test it out on a bit of scrap paper. Will this pattern work nicely? The other thing is I have no issue in my notebook if things don't go necessarily according to plan, because I'm just going to trim out another blank bit of paper and I'm going to stick that in over top. So this is just white computer paper. It is a little bit thicker just to make sure that the stamping that I'm doing now is not going to allow those stamps that I've already done to show through it. So it's a little bit on the thicker side. I believe it's about 160 GSM, and you can see the difference in my stamping. So instead of stacking my stamps vertically up the page, this time I'm going to end up doing horizontal stripes across this little bit of paper. And the only thing that I did differently after that is every time I stamp a new stamp on a row, I've just shifted it over a little bit. So the way I'm lining that up is the T on today, I am stacking that on top of the D of day. That's all there is to it. And then I'm just going to carry on stamping up the page. I just always find it really interesting, like the same set of stamps, the same block, the same ink color, and what different results you can get. So highly recommend playing around. One thing that you do today might be better than yesterday. It might be different depending on what stamps you use. It might even look better depending on what color ink you're using. The other thing you could do is with this sort of pattern is you could like alternate the colors of ink that you're stamping with. That would give you a whole nother variety of stamping. I just like repeat stamping is one of my go-to kind of techniques. I love it. I love creating my own patterns. We spend so much money on stamps. Why not use them to our advantage? And it really is super easy to just get as many different variations of patterns as you possibly can. Now you can see how easy that is. You can totally not even tell that I stuffed up the page in the first place. I just stuck that in. I am making sure to leave a little bit of a gap over the middle of my book so that it all folds up nicely. I'm going to adhere my floral paper in as well. I'm not going to adhere down my little photo just yet because I do want to do just the tiniest bit of embellishment to this page. Effectively what I've done is created a second pattern. So this page now includes two different patterns, pattern papers. And so I do want to kind of add a little bit of embellishment but not go too over the top with it. What I got here is a partial pack of die cuts here. There are so many die cuts in these packs, honestly. Apart from the amount of designs that there are, there's two of every design. So it does take me a little bit of time to just go through it. All I've done here is just pulled out ones that I think I might use and put away the ones that I know I definitely won't use. And then I'm going to grab out this sticker pack, and that's when I'm actually going to start kind of confirming the choices that I want to use. But there were so many options that I could have done, and in the end I was just trying to create a quick page here today, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pick some really simple embellishments. I really loved the little couch. The photo of Lil, she's on our couch. She's always on our couch. She's definitely a couch dog. And so I decided that was kind of appropriate for this page, and look at me using green again. The other thing I'm going to do is just stack a couple of die cuts and a sticker over on the left there. So it's two separate elements, but it's kind of creating one visual element. So I'm not going to end up with my sort of visual triangle today, just kind of a little bit of a cluster down here on the bottom left, and then I'm going to add a few little stickers onto my photo as well. And that's what I'm going to do as far as the simplicity of this goes. I did waver a little bit on my couch with that really cute dog in its basket, but because it's actually like an orange, an orange, white, and black dog, and that's not Leo. She's just black and white, unless she's particularly dirty that day. But my photo's in black and white, and I didn't want to add in that extra color with that kind of goldeny orange color on the dog. So I did go back to green. I feel like it fits a bit nicer with the floral that I've got. Contrasts nicely with the blue. The couch cushion has a little bit of blue in it, so it all kind of ties together. I've added a couple of stickers onto that photo flip up. I'm going to adhere that down now, and I am going to actually add a couple more little word stickers. I had one here on camera, and then I turned my camera off and decide that that's enough. But I'm going to just leave some detail shots so you can see the final product at the end. Now, as always, I have a discount code for you for the Kellie Stamps store. This is a great set. Like I say, if you want to have a play with some repeat stamping, this is the perfect one for you. Really generalized statements that stack perfectly. And with that discount code, why not treat yourself? Hey, thanks for watching today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do so. And if you want to keep watching, I'm going to leave a couple of videos here on screen. Otherwise, I will see you again really soon. Bye, guys.